All right, let's talk about academic conferences. You know the scene, right? Keynote speakers, kind of lukewarm coffee. But here's the thing, they are so much more than that. We're talking about high-stakes, pivotal moments where your whole career could literally change with just one conversation. No pressure, right?
I mean, who hasn't felt that? Sweat beating on your forehead, clutching your name tag for dear life. You feel like a tiny fish in this huge, scary pond of experts. That anxiety? It's totally real. But here's the good news. Getting through it, and even thriving, is a skill, and you can absolutely learn it. It's all about cracking the code, you know? Understanding those unwritten rules of the game.
So here's the bottom line. Every single conference is a fork in the road. You can play your cards right, and bam, it's a career goldmine. We're talking future collaborators, amazing mentors, you name it. But mess it up, and it can turn into a major career roadblock. And you know what the difference is? So often it just comes down to some really simple etiquette.
Okay, so let's start with a classic mistake. And trust me, this one is so easy to fall into, especially when you're super passionate about what you do. We're going to call it the pitching pitfall. It's a little cautionary tale about what happens when you're maybe just a little too eager.
So picture this. Here's Dr. Patel, super smart guy, total rising star in his field. But at this one huge conference, he makes a critical mistake. He spots a big shot professor during the coffee break, corners them, and just unloads. A full 10-minute monologue about his research. It wasn't a chat. It was a straight-up sales pitch.
And guess what that 10-minute info dump got him? Yep, a polite nod, a hasty escape, and then crickets. Complete radio silence. All that brilliant research went in one ear and out the other because his approach was all push, no pull. He totally blew his chance to make a real human connection. And that really gets to the core of what Dr. Patel just didn't get. See, networking is a two-way street. It's not a megaphone for you to broadcast everything you've ever done. It's supposed to be an exchange, you know? A back and forth of ideas and just genuine interest.
So how do you not become Dr. Patel? It's actually pretty simple. 3 steps. First, and this is huge, listen more than you talk. Seriously. Second, ask real questions. Show them you've actually been paying attention. So instead of just launching into your own stuff, you could say something like, you know, I found your latest paper so fascinating. What got you started on that line of thinking? See the difference? And finally, step 3, think about how you can offer them some value. It could be as simple as mentioning a cool article you just read that's relevant to them.
All right, so that's the more formal stuff. But what happens when the sun goes down and the networking mixer starts? You know, these things feel all casual and relaxed, but let me tell you, they are filled with their own hidden landmines.
Okay, let's talk about Maria. She's at the mixer, has a couple of glasses of wine, and starts feeling pretty relaxed. And then she starts venting about her department, about the politics, the whole thing. Huge mistake. You gotta remember, a conference mixer is not your buddy's backyard barbecue. Your professional reputation is always on the line. So how do you survive the mixer without a career-ending faux pas? A few simple rules. First, the obvious one. Stay professional, for real. Also, drink water and grab some food. It makes a way bigger difference than you think. Know your limits, whatever they may be. And just remember why you're there. You're there to swap ideas and make connections, not to trade gossip.
You know, one of the best ways to avoid pulling a Maria and just staying on track is to come prepared. Have a little 30-second elevator pitch ready to go before you even walk in the door. It's super simple. Just 3 parts. Who you are, what you're working on, and what you're hoping to get out of the conference, like maybe feedback or new collaborators. Having that in your back pocket is like a secret weapon for staying focused and professional.
Okay, so enough about what not to do. We've seen the pitfalls. Let's flip the script. What does success actually look like? How do you go from just avoiding mistakes to being someone who actually sparks connections? Okay, check this out. This is a perfect opening from our hero, Kevin. This one question is just a total masterclass. Notice a few things here. First, it's super specific, which tells the other person, hey, I actually know your work. It's also a sincere compliment. But the most important part, it opens the door for a real conversation, not another one-sided monologue.
And what happened for Kevin? Well, it wasn't just a polite nod and a quick getaway. Nope. That one single really smart question kicked off a conversation that led directly to a brand new co-authorship. That is what we're talking about. A real, tangible result that can boost your career. It's a total game changer.
But, of course, it's not just about the words you use, right? It's how you say it. Your body language is shouting whether you realize it or not. So, simple stuff. Put the phone away, like all the way away. Make eye contact. Nod along to show you're actually listening. These little nonverbal things, they send a huge message of respect and genuine interest.
So you did it. You made a great connection. The conference wraps up, you're packing your bags, but hold on. You are not done yet. There is one final and, honestly, maybe the most important step, the follow-up. This is how you lock in that new connection.
And there's a super simple formula for this. Within 48 hours, don't wait a week, send a quick, personalized email. Make sure you mention something specific you talked about. Like, it was so great chatting with you about AI ethics. And here's the pro move. Add value. If you mentioned a taper, send them the link. That simple little step shows you were listening, you're on the ball, and you're serious about building that connection.
Okay, let's do a super quick recap of what we learned from our 3 case studies. From Dr. Patel, the big lesson is listen more, talk less. From Maria, we learned to always maintain professionalism, no matter how casual it feels. And from our superstar Kevin, we see the amazing power of just being genuine and curious.
So, the biggest takeaway from all of this is you got to reframe how you think about these conferences. They're not just a long list of talks you have to passively sit through. No way. They are active, dynamic places full of opportunity. They are, for sure, career catalysts.
So, your next conference is probably already on the calendar. And now you have a choice to make. With all this in mind, who are you going to be? Are you going to be a roadblock for your own career? Or are you going to be the catalyst that sparks something new and amazing? The choice really is all yours.